What's up, Nailistas? We are back with part two of this video that I did for the colorful nails. The first video I showed how I laid the acrylic, and that's more so of an application video. This is going to be just a simple design that looks very intricate. I want to give a shout out to Tabitha Scott Nails. I know that she got this design from somebody else, but I saw it on her channel, so I'm giving her the credit for it. She does amazing work. She's here on YouTube, so if you want to check her out, please do so. And I believe she's an ambassador, or I don't want to use the wrong term, but she's partnered with Light Elegance. So she does amazing work. Fantastic, flawless. I can tell that she's very artistic. So she broke this down, and I wanted to try this design after I applied these beautiful natural acrylics on this practice hand. Now, I will say, please do not come for me in the comments because my hand is beat. I do practice on my hand a lot, but y'all see how straight those nails are. So if anybody want to give me some new hands, they don't have to be red iguana. I got these off of Amazon like a year and a half ago, a little over a year ago or something like that. If you want to gift me some new hands, by all means, please give me the left and the right, and they can be any color too. I don't care. So what I'm doing right here is I am drawing some white lines with my Beetles gel polish. I am using a really skinny brush. I got these skinny line brushes from my local nail supply store, and when I tell y'all, it makes a difference, the bristles of your line brushes and how accurate your lining is. Using quality brushes makes all the difference. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. And for those of you that like to complain about long videos, I made this one short for you. I sped it up. So the video was originally, like 50 minutes, a little shy of 50 minutes, and it's 16 minutes for you guys. So, but those of you that like long videos, don't worry, I will be making longer videos that aren't edited and are in real time. So we're just doing this on every nail. And as you saw there, I just erased it because I didn't like the line. I'm kind of out of frame just a tad bit. I did record this on Facebook Live, so if you follow me on Nailspiration over there, you may have seen this already. But I wanted to bring the part two to YouTube as promised, if you saw the application video for acrylic. The main thing that you want to keep in mind, if you are new to nails, you have to practice. So I would say, if you're not getting people that are allowing you to practice on them, invest in you some practice hands. They don't have to be pretty unless you are into pictures and things, you know, like I am. I take pictures with these. Just any practice hand. I know people that have gotten it down with just the little plastic fingers that are curved. Anything. Practice, practice, practice. And I know it sounds cliche. It took me a long time to get down my acrylic application because I was told different things and I was listening to too many different people. Yes, even those on YouTube, I was watching way too many different YouTube videos. Just find you about anywhere from 2 to 5 YouTubers that you can learn from and just watch them. And even then, I've kind of narrowed it down. As of lately, there's 2 YouTubers that I watch. I watch Tip Top Nail Shape, or Tip Top Nails, or something like that, and I watch Tabitha Scott. Those are the only 2 that I've been watching as of lately. I watch Tabitha Scott for her designs and her great ideas, and I watch Tip Top because she's so relatable. She's based out of Mississippi, and that's not why I watch her, but she really explained things. She reminds me a lot of myself. So for the color that we're going to do, we're not going to use pigment because I don't have pigment other than like eyeshadows and stuff, and you probably can't use eyeshadow. I'm using acrylic, and that was Glam and Glitz acrylic. So after we did the first lines, I'm going to go ahead and top coat. But those are the 2 that I hone in on. And since Tabitha Scott used acrylic, I was like, I'm going to do it just like how she did it. So I used acrylic, and I don't have pigments anyway. Found a use for my colored acrylic because a lot of my clients where I'm at, they just kind of frown upon colored acrylic. They want to feel like they can change their nails often. Even though I offered to put a clear slip layer underneath their colored acrylic, they're like, no, just give me the regular stuff. So this will be a good use for my colored acrylic and dip powders that I'm not really using, that don't really sell too well. So we're just top coating all 5 fingers. Yes, I include the thumb. Y'all see how great that application is. I just can't get over it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Tip Top Shade. Tip Top Nails. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. But yeah. So we're top coating these, and then we're going to stick these in the lamp for 60 seconds. The top coat that I am using is my favorite of all time, iGel Beauty No Wipe Top Coat. And you want to use a no wipe top coat because we're going to layer. We're going to make more white lines over these. Not symmetrical. Excuse me. And those are some other nails that I did. I just wanted to show them off real quick. Not symmetrical to the other white lines. They're going to be asymmetrical to the white lines we just did. I just ripped it off of there. Those are some unicorn nails that I did, and I was just trying to see if they would fit on my tips. Just being silly. So we got that cured. Now we're going to go into making the thicker white lines that are they're going to overlap. And I'm using a bigger brush to make the thicker white lines. Otherwise, we'd be here all day. So this is a design that a lot of my Facebook friends and Instagram friends were just like, they really liked it. So I'm anxious to do this design on an actual person. I tried to do it on one person, and the colors that she picked really didn't flow. Like, these colors are next to each other in the color wheel, so it looks more like a rainbow. They kind of flow into each other. You know how orange goes into yellow, goes into green, goes into blue, goes into purple, goes into red, goes into orange, like that. The colors that the person that, she had green and black and white. So it didn't flow as well. And when I tried to blend it, it just didn't look as good as this design. So she liked them though. So there we are, making those thicker white lines. And this is over the top coat. And it's important to use a no wipe top coat because you don't want anything sticking to the bottom or the base. Those white nails need to be, those white lines underneath that we initially made need to be protected by the top coat layer. So now we're just going to cure this. I believe I did like 30 seconds because the lamp that I have, which is just the lamp off of Amazon that I practice with, it cures pretty fast. So I just did 30 seconds. You want a tacky kind of white. Not too tacky. You don't want it to be like super sticky because you don't want to ruin your brush, but sticky enough to where the acrylic powder is adhering. And if it's too light, like it is right here, we're going to go over. We're going to go over the, so I'll go over it a couple times with the acrylic powder. Sorry, I'm just trying to think and do this at the same time. So I went over those colors a couple times, and here I am just kind of continuing on with the orange. I know Tabitha Scott, when I watched her, she had like kind of transition colors. I didn't really do that. I just kind of stuck with the colors flowing, how they are next to each other on a color wheel. One interesting thing that Tabitha Scott had mentioned in her video, and you can go and check it out, she was saying that if you're not too good with colors, maybe whip out a color wheel and see, play around with colors that kind of, flow with each other. And I never thought of doing that because I always felt like I got color scheme pretty well. I did art all throughout my schooling. So I have an eye for making colors go together and what works with what. So I didn't do that, but that is a good point. If you are someone that is like, I don't know what colors I should put with what, get a color wheel or look at one on Google, pull one up on Google, kind of play with the colors a bit. Me, I feel like any color, you can make any colors go with each other, especially if you have like some kind of clothing or shoes to go with the nails. You can, like, say for instance, say you have some green and purple Nikes. You know, green and purple ideally doesn't go with each other. They're like totally opposite from the color on the color wheel. But if you have some shoes or a jacket or some kind of article of clothing, you can make any colors really pop with each other. So what we're doing here is we're just patting the blue and the purple, and we're dabbing. These brushes that I am using are Macart gel brushes. I got them off of Amazon, very inexpensive, in a pack of about 5. So if you just type in Macart gel brushes, they should pop right up. I mainly use these brushes for artwork. I really don't use them for like laying gel, especially this particular brush because it's so big. So I am dusting off the excess powder, and it comes right off. It's not sticking to the background of the nail. So that's why we top coated those other white lines that we wanted to stay white. And I've been thinking and trying to figure out ways of how do they do this with the colors and the lines and have a different background. And you know, like this video that I watched of Tabitha Scott's, it really did help me, because I always wanted to try a design like this, and I just didn't know how to do it. I had so many different thoughts, but you can even do this as an inlay with clear acrylic. I saw something similar to this with acrylic. It was black acrylic and white acrylic, and the white stripe had the same kind of color scheme. And I always wondered, like, how did they do that? And it was encased in clear. So the possibilities are endless with nails. So you just want to kind of have it flow like a rainbow. You want this to flow. So if you're noticing that your powder isn't adhering to the white lines, you can go over your white lines, like just clean the nail off, go over your white lines, and then only cure it for a lesser time to make it really stick. But I felt like the colors were sticking pretty well. Some of them were lighter than others, like that middle finger with the purple, blue, pink, and orange. That one is really pigmented. So either I laid the gel polish thicker or something. It didn't cure all the way in the lamp, but it made it so much more easier for the acrylic powder to just adhere without messing up my brush. So here I'm just working on the thumb, and I'm adding those thicker white lines, and I'm going to cure it for, I believe, 30 seconds. And then I'm going to add my acrylic powder. And once again, this is a great way to use those acrylic colors that, you know, people might not be so hip to. I've only laid colored acrylic on maybe a couple different people, and it wasn't like any crazy colors. It was mainly just like pink, a new natural pink. I don't know why people in my area, in my demographic area, they're so indifferent to colored acrylics. I try my best to sell it, but they're not feeling it. They think it's going to be so hard to get it off. And then another thing too, depending on what colored acrylic you get, you can change the polish. Like you can polish over it. I mean, even if I offer a slip layer, they're like, no, I'd rather get natural and just use gel polish. But gel polish tends to chip sometimes too. Excuse me. My mouth is a little tired because I did a video before this. So after I've dusted these, I'm going to top coat them again with my iGel Beauty top coat, no wipe top coat. And that's what I'm doing here. Get a load of how straight that nail is. If you want to know what tips I used, If you want to see the application process, go to the video before this where I just showed how to do application on acrylic with acrylic nails. I'm inspired to do a set, and I think once I get off of here doing this voiceover, I'm going to go do another set of nails on my practice hands. So when you're laying your gel polish, your finishing touch, your top coat, you want to make sure, even with your other layers, whenever you're using gel polish, you want to make sure your sides are wiped, because gel polish has a tendency to run until it's cured. And before you cure it, you want to make sure that there's no drips or anything that may alter your shape. So I just like to kind of wipe the sides with my thumb or with the brush. Another way to avoid your shape from shifting is just use thin layers of gel polish of product. That will ensure that everything is snatched and you don't lose that beautiful shape that you spent time filing. Okay, so that is the final product. Before we get out of here, I want to say make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so whenever I'm uploading, you will be aware of any videos. Also, don't be afraid to let me know of any other ideas or some inspiration nails that you want to see me do. And thank you guys for so much for clicking on this video, and make sure you come back.